Welcome back to Financial Fridays. I have gotten into the realm of financial YouTube, and I see a lot of people having debt updates or debt confessions where they're struggling. They really are. So I have been thinking of a new way to do payoff debts because a lot of people do snowball and then switch to avalanche, and then they say they just want to pay off a certain debt, and they switch throughout their whole entire time just paying off their debts. And sometimes it's just really hard, because it is hard to pay off a lot of the consumer and just debt that a lot of people have. So I have been thinking about the best way to go about this that leads to the most amount of people paying off the most amount of debt that they can and achieving their goals. So I wanted to go through it today. I made up all of these numbers. So this is a fake income, and this is a fake debts that I created off of, I watched multiple people's debt confessions, and I went through and I tried to make realistic numbers for a lot of these. Sorry if they aren't super realistic, but I tried to match what a lot of people have said in their debt confession videos. So this is a budget of what people have, like, you can make, and they're paying towards certain things every single month. And as you can see, I did this for a family of 4, so 2 parents and 2 kids, bringing in $5,000 a month net after taxes and health insurance, and maybe if they're able to put something away for their retirement. After all of that, what they bring home in their paycheck would be $2,500. Usually you have 2 paychecks a month, so I have the mortgage, cell phone, food, internet, utilities, gas for the cars, and then all the other debt that has to be paid on here. I'm sorry if I forgot something, but this is what I could think of. And then extras. If you have kids, you know that extra expenses come up all the time. And honestly, if you don't have entertainment every single month, you are not going to have a good life. You have to have some sort of entertainment. So in this budget, I put $150 towards entertainment. Maybe you don't even have that in your budget. I tried to put a pretty hefty debt minimum balance and a pretty hefty overall debt over here, just so that we could see what it would look like in both budget and in real time paying off these debts. Please let me know if you have adjustments that I could make that would make both of this better. So first of all, see how this first paycheck, the family only has $10 left over. That's not a lot. It truly isn't. And so I would say with this $10 that you have left over, I know a lot of people play the games and the savings challenges and the debt payoff challenges and all of that kind of stuff. But some people, they don't have enough money for that, and they don't have enough time for that, and they just don't have the energy or effort. So with this $10 of leftover money, I would just roll it over into this next one. So you would have $72 after your second paycheck of the month. And in a normal month, with this $72 of extra money, the first thing that you would do in what I'm calling the dopamine method is look to see if you could fully pay off this first debt. With $72, we are unable to fully pay off this first debt. So I put these debts in the order of the snowball method, if you cannot tell. So this is the lowest debt amount, and we could not pay it off with this amount of $72 that's left over for the month. So the next thing that you would need to do is what I'm going to call the minimum run. And that is when you make the minimum balance for all of these that you can. So let's say we did this with this $72 for this month. Then we would add an extra $36 this month. And for the next month, could we pay the next $30? We can. And 36 plus 30 equals $66. Minus 72 minus $66 equals $6 left, which does not seem like a lot because it's not. After that, we cannot pay this next minimum amount. So after we get down to our $6 or whatever we can't pay the next minimum amount with, then we split this up into 4 different ways. A quarter to spending, a quarter to the highest percentage, a quarter to what I call the gut check, and a quarter to emergency savings. So, one thing you have to do is look through the percentage. The APR on most of these are going to be pretty high, as I have listed out, and look for the highest percentage that you're paying for all of these debts. So for this one, 2 of these debts are the highest, and that's this Care Credit right here and this Klarna right here. So those are your highest debts, or highest percentage debts, interest. And then also, so that would be going towards the avalanche method, which a lot of people use in conjunction with the snowball method. And then what I call the gut check is the one that you want to pay off first, the one that really bothers you. Whatever it is, there is probably one debt that you're just tired of and you just want to get rid of, and you are just so over. And then you can go through, and that's what I call the gut check one. So go through all of your debts and mark the gut check debt that you hate the most, that you just want to get rid of, that you are done with. So in my imaginary debt, I am just going to make that this Sam's Club. And you might go like, $6 is not enough to be putting towards all of these things. And this is where your brain does what it wants to do. So if you don't want to put $6 towards all of, or split this into 6 different ways, which completely makes sense, it's not a lot of money, then you can put it to one of these. And honestly, a lot of people that have this many debts do not have emergency savings. So I say that this should go to the emergency savings, so that if another big expense comes up, if something happens, at least there's a little bit to back yourself up. So you put this $6 towards emergency savings, or you can split it up into 3 ways or whatever to pay off whatever. And you do this every single month so that these will slowly be paid down. So this is going, or let's do this one because it's a little bit simpler. This is going to have a total of $60 paid off. So in reality, with a 30% interest rate on this, only about $15 is going to be coming off of this Amazon card. But that's still better than not even paying off the interest that is making it on this card, which is happening with a lot of these. So now that's just a regular month, and you use the snowball method first, and then you can use the avalanche method and just a gut check method after that. But let's say it's a magic month and this family gets another $2,500. That's a lot of money for this family, to be honest. And the best thing that they could do is to go back in here, and let's say that this first month, let's take these away just to make things simpler. Let's go back and say, okay, this first Klarna credit card, let's make it gone. So let's pay it off with this $2,500. So I'm going to round up just to make things simple for myself. $123 just gone off the list. And then, okay, Amazon, I could make that payment. I could pay it off. Okay, let's pay it off. $143. Gone completely. So we have 4, 9 minus 6 equals 3, 4, 2. 22.34 left. Oh, we still have plenty of money left. Then let's get rid of this Afterpay. And in reality, you should write Klarna over here. Amazon. Afterpay. Afterpay. Afterpay is $211. Klarna second is $463. And I didn't do all this math beforehand, so I'm going to do it right now. 11 minus 5. Cool. And just keep going this way. 498. 499. With care credit. So this would be 1061. Yep. Klarna number 3 is 529. So 532 left. This next care credit is 649. So we can't pay this. Oh no, that was Klarna. Sorry. But this Sam's Club is $562.91. We can't pay that off with the $532 remaining after everything else is paid off. So the next thing that we should do is revert back to what we did back up here. So we need to do the minimum run. So on this minimum run, we can put 532 right here. And Sam's Club is going to get an extra $28. Care credit is going to get 65. Capital One is going to get 140. And the personal loan is going to get 120. What are we looking at? Right there is 12, nope, 9, 10, 14, 23 minus 14 is 9. Carry that 2 over, oh no, 21. So 31 minus 14. 31 minus 14 equals, no, I'm being silly. Wait, 22 minus 8, 9. So 1 is left over. This is 10, 12, 14. So we need 21. 21 minus 14 equals 7 right here. 9, 7, we got 2 over. So this is 379 left over. Is that correct? No, that's still left over. 179 left over. I am being silly. 179. So the $25 for Discover, $60 for the personal loan number 2. So for 17 minus 8 equals $94. $94 is not enough to pay off this Toyota loan. So we would add an extra $28 to this, an extra $65 to this, an extra $140, an extra $120, an extra $25, an extra $60. This would take at least something off of these actual loan amounts and then put it towards the so that what you are charged in interest every single month would actually go down for all of these. Obviously, this would significantly help just going away every single month. So after that, we have $94 to do this split. So 94 split into 4 ways is $22, and for 2 things, and then $23 for a couple others. So I would put $22 into just spending that I want to do. And that is okay. It is okay to put some of the money that you have back into the spending that you just want to do. And then I would put $22 towards my gut check. So $22 toward my gut check. That is wrong, right? 6, 4. No, that is wrong. 90 split. Okay. This is 80. 80. And then 14 split into 4 is 3, and then 4s. Got it. So 23 and 23. Sorry, I got that wrong. So 23 would go towards my gut check, which is this Sam's Club, which every dollar towards any of your debts is a win. And then $24 towards my highest percentage, which I have one left on here. It's this care credit. So I would add another $24 to pay off this a little bit faster. And then I would put $24 more into my emergency savings. The whole entire reason I think this would work out at actually finishing, paying off all the debts is that every single month you see these minimums come down, even with the minimum runs. And then eventually, if you do the minimum runs enough on a normal month, you'll be able to pay off this actual debt completely 1 month. It also gives you some spending money, so you get that instant dopamine every single time you do this. And you start paying off the highest percentage amounts, kind of like in the avalanche. You start getting rid of the debt that you really hate the most, and you start saving for emergency savings. All of these are good things, but with the quarter of the leftover money after the minimum run and the snowball method, then going into spending, it gives you an instant hit of dopamine. The ability to see these debt payments actually going down every single month will give you dopamine. And the fact that eventually you can actually see these going away over time, and this will go significantly down over time. And even in like 2 or 3 months, it will go down, will significantly help with the dopamine release and seeing that at the end of the month. Also, having enough room in your budget for a little bit of extra is significant. So getting to that point, and then once you get to a magic month, putting all of that money in here like this, doing the snowball method first, and then doing a minimum run, and then whatever you have left over, split it up into these 4 categories, you will feel good every single month and you are more likely to pay off all your debt. So I know this was a long video. I'm sorry that it was a long video, but I am hoping that if you are looking at all of your debt and you're like, how in the heck am I going to pay all of this off? I'm hoping you will consider this method of paying off all your debts, because I believe this will make you feel good every single month and you will be more likely to pay off all of your debts. I hope that you do that, and I hope that you are less stressed, and I hope you live a good life. Come back next week for another Financial Friday.